see all these pictures of all these wars and these paintings and drawings of wars. How are they getting all those horses? They have unlimited horses in these pictures. There's 3 million horses for every war. Every picture I've ever seen, there's so many horses. And I'm like, you think people go out, you got to catch a horse?
No, I think you breed horses.
I know, but how do you get the original?
The starter? Mm-hmm. I mean, you probably buy... Yeah, the first guy who domesticated horses did have to, at one point,
I bet he didn't know it was going to be used for evil. I'll tell you that. Would he have wanted it? Would he have done it if he would have
known? It's like Oppenheimer. He's like, I would never have tamed the horse if I knew they were going to charge into battle.
Welcome to Overshadowed Podcast, a comedy history podcast that talks about the siblings of famous and infamous people throughout history. Today's episode, we're
talking about the brothers of Napoleon, Jerome, and I almost call him Johnson. We're talking about Joseph, so the younger and the oldest. Mm-hmm. Maybe the youngest brother. But he was hot. And he loved hot things, beautiful women, fat asses. He fell in love in Baltimore. He never looked back.
Yep. Joseph, kind of the opposite.
Yeah.
Regular dude, took Napoleon's direction, was king, but very boring, didn't have any victories, and just ended up living a pretty rich but regular life.
Pretty rich, sweet life of gardening and reading.
Yeah. Napoleon, on the other hand, ended up taking over the entire world. I don't know Napoleon. I just guessed that he actually...
Napoleon's still alive today, is our president and vice president. So before we talk about Napoleon, I know you looked up like the French Revolution and what was going on during the 17 and 1800s in France.
I do want to talk about it.
If you want to set the stage for where these brothers, Jerome and Joseph, are living... Charles is your boy for all things French history.
French history, baby. So I just want to talk about a brief description of the French Revolution. It started on July 14th, 1789, and ended in 1799. But what it was a growing anger between the poor class until they finally revolted against the royal family, beheaded them, and changed the way things were done in France, which kind of ultimately led to a change throughout history of how everything was done. Because before the French Revolution, there were three parties. There were the clergy. Hold on, let me make sure I get this right. The clergy, the nobility, and here's the worst term. They were just called the rest. Ooh, Jesus.
You don't want to be a part
of
the rest.
Really adding salt to the wound.
Yeah.
Well, it's 98% of them were just the rest.
That's so funny that they define the world in terms of the 1%.
Yeah.
This is half, this is half, this is the rest.
This is the rest. It's 98% of them.
Yeah.
So, that's really how it was. So that was one thing I didn't know is that, I mean, I knew there was like the royal family, and if you were born, into royalty, you could still, but you couldn't make the rest couldn't ever earn money.
There was no mobility.
There's no way.
There was no social mobility.
You
couldn't work your way up.
Yeah.
Which is why it's crazy about Napoleon, because he started as like this Corsican, which is this island in France, as like just like a military officer, and then ended up becoming the emperor of France and other countries that he conquered. But he did work his way up.
Well, I think that was a product of the French Revolution, though, right? I mean, wasn't that after?
He grabbed on and he kind of wrote it. He was like, oh, this is happening.
He was the first guy who went viral after the French Revolution.
Right, yeah. Baby. YouTube came on the scene, and then PewDiePie Napoleon got 10 mil subscribers.
He got the right hashtags.
Took over Westphalia.
He got the algorithm gods in his favor, baby. Yeah, he's Trevor Wallace of the French Revolution.
Yeah.
He's putting out some sweet clips, dude.
Good content.
Great stuff. But you ever get that as a compliment? Hey, great stuff.
Great stuff, man.
Good stuff, dude. Love the stuff
that's
you
usually, do. That's like an older comic who didn't really listen to your set.
Yeah, exactly.
Great stuff, man.
Great stuff, dude.
If ever you have something you can give me,
let
me know.
But here was just to say, I guess, how much money everything was and how little money the rest had. Bread was mostly their diet, right?
Okay.
But people would spend 90% of their income for the week on one loaf of bread. So people are pissed. You're getting one loaf, no mustard, no olive oil, no mayonnaise. You're eating
mustard
dry.
Is your first condiment you're going to put on a loaf of bread.
I mean, why not? You never had a mustard bread slice?
No, I haven't.
No American singles?
You ever had a hot dog, no dog? What are you talking about?
I just put I put the weirdest condiments on things.
Yeah.
You ever put jelly on your mayonnaise?
That's not right.
It doesn't work at all. But so you're getting this shitty bread. You can never afford it. How many pieces are in a loaf back then anyway? What, they give you 2 slices? Sweet loaf. There's your loaf.
Or like a super thin baguette, like a pencil thin.
Yeah. You're like, this is a cracker.
Yeah, you're like, just fucking tuck it into your gums and let it dissolve throughout the week.
Oh my God. So
they got a shitty loaf. They're hungry.
Yeah.
Hungry people are angry. Really, the French Revolution was a product of hanger.
Yeah, it was.
A lot of hangry peasants trying to storm the Bastille.
Yeah. That is really all you need to kind of get people going.
Yeah, I think Louis XIV just looked like a big old burger.
Yeah, he looked like Grimace.
They chopped his head off like a sausage machine.
Yeah.
Ground it up.
So I think it was initially a bunch of women were at the bread market and they demanded to see the royal family, and then they didn't, and then they just fucking blasted. What'd you say?
The manager.
Yeah, a bunch of white women with short blonde hair were like, look. Some 16-year-old from the clergy's like, oh, I just work here during the summer. I don't know.
Excuse me, I come here every day. And their sunglasses are resting on their forehead.
Yeah. They got a little dog.
Yeah. So a bunch of Karens are at the market.
They barge in, get the royal family, they barge in to go to the royal family, and then they tell the royal family.
Like into a castle?
I think they barged all the way in. They stormed the Capitol, baby. January 6th, also the same day. They did it back then. It was... I think they were screaming, hang Mike Pence the whole time.
Hang Mike Pence. I don't think anyone storming the Capitol was screaming, hang Mike
What?
Pence.
That's what they were saying.
Was it really?
Yeah. You haven't seen the clips?
No, dude.
Oh,
I thought you just pulled that out of your ass.
I'm that's my ringtone now.
Hang Mike Pence.
Oh, sorry, it's my mom calling. I'm in a movie theater. So they went to the royal family and they told them, like, hey, you better come with us. You better do our orders or it's done. We're a big mob right here. And they agreed. So the royal family walked down with them into like another thing and they went down into the regular land. But that night, the royal family tried to escape. And Louis and Marie
Antoinette?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They switch clothes with their servants. So they walk out and then they get to the outskirts of town, but they get recognized because his face is on every coin in the city. So they like hold up a quarter to his face and they're like, that's fucking you fat piece of shit.
That's fucking John and Derek trying to sell guitars at the fucking local pawn shop.
Yeah. So
what happened?
They cashed in and they beheaded him.
Yeah.
They beheaded everybody. And they beheaded Louis because he was a dickhead. But they beheaded Marie Antoinette. Was it Antoinette?
Yeah.
She, they just didn't like...
Nice.
Excuse me. Great stuff.
Great stuff.
They beheaded her because they just didn't like the way she flaunted her rich lifestyle. So they were like, look, bitch, get off that boat and get onto the guillotine. And they killed both of them.
It's cool, though, that sometimes they let off the women. Like, remember Henry VIII? Like, some of the wives the people liked.
You're right.
You know what I mean? Like, some of them had, like, popular favor, and so they got a little slack. Do you have anything else about the French times?
No, that's kind of... So now everything's changing. But this is what kind of set the stage for someone like Napoleon to rise to power, right?
Yeah. On that podcast that I was listening to, we should give it a shout out. I don't remember what it was.
Oh, You're Dead to Me.
You're Dead to Me. It was a BBC podcast. We actually could bring a historian in at some point. That would be actually pretty cool. So then he could teach us stuff and we could just make him uncomfortable.
Yeah. Because the comedian on that podcast was bombing.
Was he?
Yeah.
No, we can't shout him out.
No, we can just edit this clip out, but I'll edit it out. You sucked.
No, you won't. I'm going to edit this out.
You always say you're gonna.
I do. And then I'm like, buddy, you said Derek 50 times. I'm not editing out every single... D-man.
I just meant the one for the Instagram.
I know.
Yeah.
I really said. All right, guys. Okay, we're friends in real life. Like that one review said.
Yeah, that was a great,
That was a great review. So Napoleon as a kid. Parents were Carlo, Bonaparte, and Letizia.
Yeah, terrible name.
Bonaparte.
You got 3 Z's in that.
Yeah, too many Z's.
What is that? M-I-S-S-I-S? That's how people got to remember it. L-I-Z-Z-I-Z-Z-I.
It's actually 1 Z.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, it sounds like 7, but it's only 1. And Carlo was a lawyer. He was very bad with money. He was he like did well for himself, but he gambled. He made like stupid investment decisions.
What were you gambling on back then?
I have no idea. Maybe like I bet the head's going to bounce 4 times.
Like skipping rocks
from
or
the
beheading. Can you imagine going to a beheading? Just being like, you gotta
totally.
be. People are probably selling apples. Apples, 7 Louis coin. You know, I guarantee the guy with the knife, the axe will get up and just go, and people go, yeah, it's my favorite one. People got their favorite, you know.
Favorite executioners. Well, I don't even know what you do for the. I think you just pull a string.
Yeah, I
it's
guess
not an
you
axeman.
do.
I mean, that would be funny if symbolically a guy with an axe came out and then he just went off to the sidelines and watched.
It'd be cool if they let other people. There was like a raffle in town and you got to pull the string.
That would be fun.
Because then you could maybe kill your boss you had that you hated back in the day.
Yeah, and then whoever catches the head gets to do it next.
Yeah, it's like the garter.
Yeah. Oh, the bouquet at the wedding. Or it means you're going to be beheaded next.
Yeah, so you can't catch it.
People are running from the head. Oh, my God.
What happened to your brother? Well, the head hit him, and, by association, he had to be beheaded.
Tag, you're it.
Yeah.
He was like a dumbass. He would be like on Wall Street Bets today. He would be doing crypto, Dogecoin primarily.
Okay.
He would be on, betting on GameStop, but way after it peaked. Like,
God, he's trying to get to the moon.
He died of stomach cancer.
Oh.
It's just, so did Napoleon, actually. So I think it's hereditary. But he died of stomach cancer when Napoleon was like 15, and Jerome, at the time, the youngest, the young, hot, horny boy of Napoleon's brothers, was like 3 months old.
Yeah, very tiny baby.
Tiny little baby. And so the mom had 13 kids, 8 survived.
13 kids. 8, only 5 died. That's pretty good.
It's not bad. 60%. So, as is often the case in a lot of siblings that we've seen, the parent dies and then the sibling becomes the parent. So Napoleon had to basically raise him.
He was a dad.
Yeah, but Napoleon, by the time that Jerome is like 3, so he's, having probably people take care of the baby. But when Jerome's growing up, Napoleon's like a captain. He's like he's like in the army, in the French army. And so he has like men. He has like 50,000 men, and now also this other one that he has to deal with.
And also that one's probably a bother because Jerome was kind of a shitty kid.
He wasn't really disciplined, it seems. Like he sent him to Catholic school.
Grew up without the dad. Napoleon's probably stopping by on Sundays, dropping off the bread, going back to naval school.
He's on horseback, freestyling with his friends by candlelight.
Really quick, speaking of horseback, I just want to bring this point up. You see all these pictures of all these wars and these paintings and drawings of wars. How are they getting all those horses? They have unlimited horses in these pictures. There's 3 million horses for every war. Every picture I've ever seen, there's so many horses. And I'm like, who's breeding the horses out there?
I think it's as popular as cars are now. That's how many horses there were around.
Really?
Yeah. You go to a bar, there's
just a bunch of
18 horses being strangled next to each other, leashed up.
Yeah, just lock into the other one. Someone comes out, who stole my horse? You have a bad lock?
Just take one. They're like
it's
umbrellas.
It's because you bought a bad lock, Tom. They're like umbrellas.
Yeah. You just take one, leave one.
So many fucking horses.
There's a lot of horses.
Yeah. Who's the horse breeder in town? You got to keep that guy alive.
I'm sure it was competitive. Oh, I'm sure it's also in the countryside. You have
just so many horses.
Yeah,
you think people go out? You got to catch a horse.
No, I think you breed horses.
I know, but how do you get the original?
The starter? Mm-hmm. I mean, you probably buy... Yeah, the first guy who domesticated horses did have to, at one point,
I bet he didn't know it was going to be used for evil. I'll tell you that. Would he have wanted it? Would he have done it if he would have known?
It's like Oppenheimer. He's like, I would never have tamed the horse if I knew they were going to charge into battle and fucking enable the death of civilians.
Yeah. So I just wanted to...
So Jerome went to a Catholic school, and he was more interested in the ladies than he was in learning anything.
Which I think was funny in contrast to Napoleon, because Napoleon was like an awkward little bitch with women.
He was shy. He wrote these sad love notes to people. He honestly reminded me a little bit of myself in middle school.
Did you write love letters?
I didn't write love letters, but I asked out a lot of women. Uh-huh. And because of that, my friend Chris thought I was really cool, and even admitted to me later in life that he grew out his hair to look like mine.
Whoa,
which is so crazy.
That's cool.
My dick grew 3 sizes that day.
Nice. I was got a 3-incher on you now.
Yeah, baby, 1 to 3. Yeah, Chris. I'm like, buddy, you saw me asking him out, which sure, maybe that's
pretty ballsy.
Maybe that's brave.
I was very afraid in high school.
You none of them ever transpired in anything. I would have schemes. I would be like, dude. I told Chris one time, I'm like, you're going to go into the locker section and you're going to be talking shit about Allie's. You're going to be like, Allie looks like such a slut. And then I'm going to come in and I'm going to be like, bro, she expresses herself in a beautiful way.
Oh my God.
And exactly when she gets out of history.
So she was going to be walking by to you sticking up for her and maybe I should go to the movies with Zach.
That was the plan.
Really?
Yeah.
How did it happen? She just heard your friend say slut and then she slapped him in the face.
No, she liked it and she went out with him.
Really? She stole him?
She's like, I
am your little slut.
Spit in my mouth.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is not how it's supposed to go.
Damn it.
One time I tried asking out this girl on crutches, and which was tough because she...
What was your plan for that? You're going to push her down the stairs. I'm going to be there to catch her. Then we're going to go on a wheelchair date to Disneyland, getting all the rides first.
I'm going to say she's stage 4. We're going to have a great time on a budget. No. But I did go up to her on crutches, and by this point, I gained a reputation.
You were on crutches, too?
No.
Hey, look!
I know how it feels. You want to feel me?
Let's lock crutches, like Avatar Tales.
We intertwine our crutches. No, but I had gained a reputation at this point as being like a little horny kid, a little Jerome Napoleon who's going around asking out girls. So she knew. So she started hobbling away.
That's so funny.
Up this ramp.
That's hilarious.
So she's like slowly making it up the ramp.
And
the
you're
only
like,
ramp in her
Lisa!
school. Yeah, Liza, LB, LBD, what's up?
She's like, ah, fuck, pizza face is coming.
Yeah. And I think she had to let me down like halfway up the ramp.
Her armpits must have been rashed after that, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
She was pissed at you probably for a week. Is that armpit crutch rash? That's worse than childbirth, I heard.
Yeah, I'd rather crawl around than have a crutch fucking boning my armpit all day.
I'd rather get my elbows on the streets NYC.
Yeah, just put my little butt on a wheeled
On a
pallet.
scooty? Oh, yeah. Like this.
Yeah. That's how veterans get around in New York City. If you don't know, if you're new to New York and you want to support a veteran, buy a pallet that has wheels on the bottom and then give them to someone who's lost their legs in war.
Yeah. Or you can do the alternative, which is I do. I give them an already peeled orange so they don't have any extra work to do.
That's nice, actually.
Instant
Have you done that? I thought you were going to say instant slam dunk with the guaranteed spot in heaven.
Oh, I did want to say, do you want to tell
I want
more
to kind
about
of
that?
finish. What were you going to say, though?
Well, I was just going to say, I think it's funny in contrast to Napoleon being such an awkward person who never really made it with the girls, and Jerome being such a horny person. The conversations must have been a little like he's coming home. You know, this guy's just a military, like, I can't wait to conquer Rome. And Jerome's just like, I just want to conquer Rhonda's tits. He's like, you got to stop thinking about women, Jerome. And, you know, because he hated that he was just a little perv boy.
Yeah.
And he sent him to, that's what we sent him to the Naval Academy, right?
Yeah, not the French Navy. Yeah, not the
Yeah.
Annapolis Naval Academy.
They sent him to
Don't
Annapolis,
you dare
right?
sully my institution. No, he loved. So it was funny because I was reading. It kept saying that he loved beautiful things, which we all love beauty, but that was his thing. Like he loved throughout his life. He was like
Talking
a
about
crow.
Jerome.
He's like a little crow. Attracted little shiny objects. Pretty women. So he can't focus. Maybe because his dad's dead and he's being raised by his brother, who is obsessed with conquering the world. He sends him to the French Navy in the Caribbean.
Oh, that's nice.
Pretty sweet.
That's kind of like your little studying abroad.
Yeah, it's like
you get to go to the Caribbean.
Yeah, dude. I'm sure he's getting all kinds of tail in the Caribbean.
Get a little jerk chicken and tail.
Yeah, he's jerking his chicken.
Yeah, I bet that kid was all the time.
I bet that his cabin door was frequently locked.
Yeah,
maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he was like, anybody come in. He could have been by.
Jerome was pansexual.
Yeah, he was fluid.
So he accidentally, during his time in the Caribbean, fired on a British ship, which it's like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah,
what'd you light
how do you accidentally fire back then?
Yeah, you light a match and you're like, whoa!
Yeah, you accidentally hit the candle wick.
Yeah. Well, the cannon. Yeah. He keeps trying to get it like a Tom and Jerry cartoon. He keeps tripping. He's almost there. They had signed a peace treaty, the French, with Britain.
Yeah.
And so it was just like Napoleon was the French consulate to Britain. So it was especially bad that his younger, dumbass, boned up brother fired on a recent ally.
Yeah.
But the weird thing was they were also conducting raids against Britain. So I think it's kind of like Russia and the US.
Yeah.
How they do shit in secret, even though it's technically peace. I think that's what was happening. So I think Jerome might have fired, even though he wasn't ordered to fire. But they were taking down some British ships at that time. So I think it was just an unauthorized load blow. You know what I mean?
Yeah, after hours blow.
Can't do that.
And then he had to go into hiding.
So he goes to America, and specifically, a friend tells him that the most beautiful women in the world in America, Baltimore, Maryland.
Still true today.
Let's just say this dude's into women wearing weaves and Uggs. Let me tell you that, okay? Jerome is equal opportunity, baby.
Yep.
He's trying to mix it up.
He's an abolitionist.
You're damn right. Yeah, so Jerome's pretty woke.
Yeah.
No, but Baltimore was the third largest city during that time, and there was this piece down there this dime piece named Elizabeth Patterson.
Super wealthy,
daughter of William Patterson.
Wasn't she the wealthiest girl in the country?
She was one of them. Yeah, he was her dad was an Irish gun runner during the American Revolution.
Pretty cool.
And then he just it's pretty sick. A gun runner. I want to be a fucking gun runner.
I'd love to be a gun runner.
You just got a 50 cal. You're sprinting to sell it to somebody. What? I don't know what a gun runner is.
Yeah. What are you doing?
It's like War Dogs, I think.
Okay.
You see that movie with Jonah Hill and the guy from Whiplash?
No.
Well, that's who's in the movie. And they sell arms. They're arms dealers.
Oh yeah, I know that. I've seen the preview.
Gun runner is a nicer way to say arms dealer.
Yeah, gun runner. Very cool. It'd be very cool to tell somebody.
I run guns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You run jewels? Guns and jewels.
Yeah. and coon pelts. Raccoons.
You need to
raccoons. I want to be very clear. So Betsy, she was 17. Jerome came over to Baltimore. She's wealthy. She's regarded. She's also like, who's this dude? Apparently they were at a ball. They met at like a social gathering.
Yes.
His coat, his naval officer coat, which first of all, very hot.
Yeah.
Got hooked on her gown.
Ooh, classic.
Love at first sight.
Does the shoe fit inside your asshole? You know what I mean?
That's right.
You gotta go
that's
back.
right. That's like two kids' braces getting caught together.
Yeah,
Except
that's cute.
Much better.
A couple of crutches twisting together.
That's
you know what I
right.
mean?
Yeah.
I wonder if they made out at the party. I wonder how PDA was back then.
I don't know.
Get a little drunk. And
I feel like if Jerome was out there, he's
Oh,
fingering a lady on the
yeah,
ball
up the-
floor.
Just a giant hand up a big ballroom dress from the 70s.
So
you know what I
he's
mean?
just fully under it.
You walk when I walk. You walk when I walk. No one will see us.
He's walking on her feet.
Just
That's why the dresses were so big.
you can fit a whole guy under there.
Yeah.
You're like, no, it's tradition.
I think Elizabeth has two dudes under there.
It's a rumor that
She looks like a spider walking.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Elizabeth, now how many feet did you have before you came here? 2, right?
no, that's a very passive aggressive way to call someone out.
Yeah.
Come on, just say.
What if I bet?
Just
if
tell
you-
Jerome to get out.
I bet if the dad noticed at the party, I bet he would run up and kick the dress. I knew it. Jerome's on the floor. God damn it, his dick's out. That's why the skirt was invented, by the way. Just wanted to say.
Right, yes, of course. So this is, I think, the craziest part of Napoleon and Jerome's relationship. I think this is very formative. So Jerome marries Betsy, okay, in like Christmas Eve of 1803. Napoleon doesn't care that she's rich, doesn't get,
beautiful.
Jerome's like, she's got a donk.
Yeah.
She's got a butt. He's like,
Sweet rack.
That is not what I asked.
Yeah.
Does she have political allegiances that I
Yeah.
could test myself to? No? Come back to France, you little boy.
Makes him come back to France.
You little horny slut.
Yeah, he's a little horny
He's a
slut.
little horny slut.
It's pretty good French.
Thank you. So Napoleon's like, no, Jerome.
He's like, you got to come back to France because you got to marry someone with political ties so you can benefit me taking over the rest of the world.
So they're pregnant. And Jerome's like, I can convince my brother that I will marry this wide-ass bitch. And I don't know if that's what he said. He's probably more respectful.
I don't know. Jerome seemed pretty horny. Once Napoleon sees your ass in person, babe, he's going to be like, oh, I'm so sorry.
Can
of
you
course.
bend over for him?
Yeah.
See? Come on.
Okay.
Come on.
Babe, spread your cheeks.
No.
He's gonna
no.
He's gonna love it. Napoleon, you want to get under her dress tonight with me? You want to do that? Come on. You want to do a devil's dress with me? Come on.
They're like 15 years apart, too.
Yeah.
He's way older.
That's cool. He probably always wanted to be under his dress with his older brother.
You're probably right. He's like, I've been waiting to get under a dress with you, my man.
Yeah.
So Napoleon's like, ditch this bitch, come back to France. You're out of line, buddy. You're not. This is an embarrassment. I'm fucking Napoleon Bonaparte. I need you over here fighting for me. He's like, I'm trying to conquer the world.
Yeah.
Can you help?
You horny little asshole. Baltimore, you tell me you met a girl where they filmed The Wire, Jerome? Get out of there. I've seen that show. That place is a mess.
Yeah. So Jerome's sailing back with a pregnant Betsy.
Crazy. Can you imagine?
Didn't tell Napoleon that he's bringing Betsy. He's like, we'll be able to convince
Babe,
him.
I got this. Just come
We're
across
tight.
the Atlantic with me.
Yeah.
I guarantee he's going to be cool with it.
So Napoleon won't even let her on the continent. She has
Yeah.
to go to England. Like, they sail there. Napoleon's like, she cannot get off
Kind
the
of
ship.
dramatic.
A little much.
Let her get out, maybe get a sandwich, fucking
glass
loaf of
of water.
bread. Yeah, you asshole.
Yeah,
Really?
the weekly loaf.
Yeah.
Give her 2.
Give her
She's
a couple.
pregnant.
Yeah, she's pregnant.
With your nephew. They landed in neutral Portugal, and Jerome set off to Italy to persuade his brother to recognize the marriage. Elizabeth tried to land in Amsterdam, hoping to enter France so that her baby would be born on French soil.
Nice.
But the emperor barred the ship from entering the harbor. She went to England instead. The kid, Jerome Napoleon Bonaparte, which is wild to name the kid after the guy who won't even let you in.
They're trying to convince him.
They are.
This guy's got a big ego.
Yeah.
He's got a Napoleon complex.
Right.
But also, if you're going to go that way, just name him Napoleon at that point.
Yeah, Napoleon.
Call him Jerome,
Napoleon.
but his name's Napoleon.
Right.
I go by Alex at home. My name's Charles.
Do you really?
Yeah, and my family calls me Alex.
That's wild.
Yesterday, if you would have been there, they would have been like, Alex.
Dude, that's crazy.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
you've told me that before.
Yeah,
but
no one
I
calls
don't like
me-
it. I
Yeah.
don't like when people do that.
Oh, I mean, I betrayed them. I was Alex first. But
Oh, you were? I mean, my friend Chris did that. His real name's Edward, but his middle name's Chris.
Yeah,
and then he went to school in Scotland. He's like, I'm Edward, and then
I didn't do.
The home friends are like, fuck you. No, you're
not.
Yeah,
I only did it because one day in class Alex is a very popular name for our age group.
Right.
So one day on the first day of like middle school, there was like 6 Alexes, and I was like, I'm not going to be Alex number 7. So when she said Charles, I was just, instead of being like, I actually go by my middle name, I just went, yeah, here. And then I just kept it because there were so many Alexes.
It's so funny how like those decisions that will affect the rest of your life, you're like, I don't want to correct her.
Yeah, I was just like, look, I don't want. Yeah, I know, it's so strange. Then I just kept it. What
Charles
a weird thing
forever.
I did. I just kept it. I was just like, yeah, I'm Charles.
Yeah,
gross.
Yeah.
Anyway, but so the kid's born in England with the namesake of Napoleon, the uncle that didn't want him, the bastard nephew.
Not a bastard. They were married.
I know. I just meant to Napoleon.
Yeah, right. As far as I'm concerned, that thing's a bastard. Yeah, he's pretty mean about it.
Yeah, he's a dick about it.
Yeah. Napoleon asked the Pope Pius, whatever. He's like, can we divorce these losers? Can we annul the marriage? And to annul a marriage, do you know what that means?
I thought it was just wipe away the marriage. Or is it excommunicate?
Yeah, it's to wipe away. It's to pretend like it never existed. It's like ghosting, blocking, delete all the pictures from Instagram, never happened. The Pope won't annul the marriage, so Napoleon does it himself.
Why is the Pope like, no?
Well, the Pope, there's no reason to annul. He's like, why do you want to annul the marriage? He's like, look, I don't want to do
the paperwork, dude. Just send him back to America.
He's like, I have a lot of things to do.
Yeah.
And Napoleon's like, she's an American. And he's like, that is not a reason to dissolve and wipe away from the history books
they have a kid.
Your marriage. They have a kid. They do. You can get annulled if she was like forced into the marriage.
Yeah.
So Napoleon's like, I'm the emperor. I annul it by decree. He makes a law, basically. He like writes down, you're not married. Boom.
Wow.
Decree.
Check this out. A scroll.
Yeah.
Fucking your wife with the circle through her face.
Yeah. It's the heart of like J, B, just a crack appears.
And then he rips it. Come on.
Let's get some puss, dude.
Yeah. Jerome, you horny dog. He's like, I'm in love now.
He's like, let's go to the bar, dude.
Let's get under some girl's dress tonight, Jerome.
Come Napoleon's looking to stretch out. He's looking to whore it up with his brother. And
because he's bigger now.
He can't be weighed down by this dumbass Betsy.
Yep. Even though Napoleon does have a lady.
Yeah, Josephine.
Which
also wasn't her name.
No,
her name was Rose.
Yeah, but Napoleon Rose Joseph was her last name?
Yeah, he like went by the middle name, and he's like, I'll call you Josephine.
And she's like, well, my first name, okay, don't behead me.
So Napoleon set him up with Catherine of Württemberg, who was like the princess of Westphalia, which is basically like northwestern Germany, which is bordering France. So that makes sense.
A lot of political ties. It's a good marriage.
You didn't marry for love. You married for power, which is what me and Lauren are doing.
I can see that.
She is booking us at casinos.
She's got a great house in Pennsylvania. I've heard her parents are rich. I see why you're with her, dude. She's great.
She's hot and I love her.
Look, the opposite's worse. Heather has no family.
Yeah, dude, we got some fucking strong family ties. The Ritter clan is going strong.
Yeah, the Coffer clan doesn't exist.
Is dissolved.
Yeah,
the Coffer
it's annulled.
diaspora. Yeah. So they go to Westphalia, and I don't even know what this means, but they showed up to Kassel, which was like the city of the capital of Westphalia, which is again just like northwest Germany, and it was in a plundered state.
Ooh.
So
what
like
does that
people,
mean?
I don't know. Like buildings were ransacked. There's like a tumbleweed, going through. There's
one lone horse left.
Right, there's one. Yeah, there used to be 30. There's like 100 dead horses in the street. This has been plundered. They arrive there and they really French it up. Like the Arc de Triomphe or like the big arch in Brooklyn by the Atlantic Avenue. So that's called Empire style.
Okay.
So they were paying a lot of Parisian artisans and people to come over and design things in that style to make like the whole city more grand and like
more romantic.
Right.
This is, I think, when
more French.
But also they were pulling from Roman empires. They changed the way they dressed.
Oh,
because
really?
when Napoleon finally started turning into this emperor that wasn't really a nice guy anymore, he started taking influence from the Roman Empire down to the clothes. That's why when you see pictures of Napoleon in like these big fancy outfits, he's pulling from Roman emperors.
Dude, everybody
he's got
does
the golden
that. Hitler
leaves.
did that.
Yeah,
everybody loves like the Roman, Greek. It's just like old shit.
So I want leaves on my head now. And but that's everything started to change, and the inspiration was from the Romans.
So they make everything all French and cool.
Yeah, they
and
baguette it up,
and they baguette it up.
Couple of cigarettes,
daily loaves.
We need
baby.
Snails in this shit. Yeah,
snails. They're getting salted.
Bunch of hors d'oeuvres.
Jerome has him and his wife Catherine of Württemberg's pictures, just like huge portraits, like 18 feet tall. The expenses from Jerome's court were equal to that of Napoleon's court.
Wow.
Which is like crazy. Like,
I wonder if Napoleon got the Chase Bank notification on his phone.
He did.
Was like, Jesus Christ, dude. You overdrafted me.
He was
I'm trying
pissed.
to take over Prussia right now. I need 900,000 men, and then you just got a sculpture? What are you doing?
Yeah, 40,000 francs.
Yeah, dude.
He's always kind of like a thorn in Napoleon's side.
Yeah,
He's married an
It's
American.
funny that he didn't
He
kill
fired
him.
on a British ship.
Yeah.
But overall,
he should have just excommunicated him.
Yeah, but he did, like, he wasn't a total, I think he had like issues like that annoyed him. But I think overall they were brothers. And
and he was good in the Navy when he wasn't being a horn dog.
Right.
They said he was a good naval officer.
Right. So eventually Napoleon does engage him in like military shit. Napoleon sent him to Hougomont, which was like during Waterloo, to try to pull troops away from whatever the face. I am so bored by like military tactics.
Yeah.
Whenever someone's like, and he tried to flank him, but he was worried that would happen, but he didn't prepare against it.
You had a different hobby,
who
buddy.
cares?
Yeah.
How battles were fought.
Yeah. And also, how do you know this is true? Well, you're like, he flanked to the left, but they always have this like story where you're like, but then his shoe got stuck in a piece of water. And you're like, did it really?
And then you meet a soldier who was there somehow, and he's like, it was every man for himself.
Yeah.
I stabbed my general, and I took his horse.
I still got the horse. You want to see it?
Yeah. He leads you to a field of 10,000 horses.
This is all I got left.
To be continued. Damn it. They sequeled me. So no, dude, Jerome's son, Jerome Napoleon, right? So Jerome and Betsy's son, who they also called Beau. This was wild, I thought. Betsy, remember, couldn't enter the country because she was American, got her marriage annulled by her brother-in-law, and then told her son, Jerome Napoleon, who they also called Beau, that he should not marry an American and like muddy his bloodline.
Yeah,
so Betsy's drinking the Kool-Aid.
Well, Betsy wants to be. I mean, but is she drinking the Kool-Aid, or is she trying to be part of the most powerful family in history right now? Look,
I guess.
Fuck your cousin, marry her, so we can be Bonapartes, okay? Look, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. She wants to be part of it. So, and then didn't Beau try to? Oh, she did try, but the cousin, he did try and court one of the cousins in the family.
The grandma advised that.
Yes.
Yeah, the grandma's like, go fuck your cousin.
What was it? Elizabeth met with Napoleon's mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Betsy and the son went over to the grandma to Europe to see the grandma.
Yeah.
And then the grandma suggested that Beau marry like somebody's cousin, one of the cousins.
But somebody else got to her first, or was it during the courtship?
I don't think Beau wanted to marry the cousin either.
Okay.
Beau ended up being like a farmer or something.
Yeah,
like
the gentleman farmer. Good term.
Oh, you wear a suit when you till the land?
Yeah.
What do you mean gentleman farmer?
Definitely, that was a farmer who wanted to get fucked. Spice up his job a little bit when he's at the bar talking to
I'm
ladies.
not single, I'm a bachelor.
I'm a bachelor farmer.
Yeah.
He does CrossFit.
Yeah. Just hitting tires in the back.
Yeah.
He's hitting dead horses. That's where it came from.
Yeah.
Dude, he's out there beating a dead horse. Yeah, he's jacked.
He's huge, dude. I love his shoulders.
Just seems a little redundant. Yeah. I used to have a joke about that. It was so dumb. It was like my first year of comedy, and it was like, why? Well, I don't understand the phrase beating a dead horse. Like, when would you ever see a guy beating the shit out of a dead horse and be like, man, that's pretty redundant.
That's funny.
It's like you're saying something and he just won't stop saying it.
That's a good. I love first comedy thoughts like that. They're very because they're very.
Let me tackle the idioms.
Yeah.
Let me go after fucking sayings.
It's very pure. Let me take it to the sayings of our time. I had a terrible joke that I can't even say it actually, to be honest with you. No, this is a bad joke that I had. I had a joke about cereal. It was I've been eating a lot of Captain Crunch lately. I just had Captain Crunch Oops All Berries. It's now my favorite cereal. The only thing wrong with it is the name. They should rename it from Captain Crunch Oops All Berries to Captain Crunch Finally All Berries. Sorry they took us so long to get it right. Hopefully you are still a child and can enjoy this to its fullest potential. Your friend, Horatio Crunch. And then I'd say that was his name. And I never knew what to say about...
It's a big box.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Tell me. They got to... Especially if they're paying per letter.
I, as an audience member, have crossed my arms. I am not in on this bit.
I never really used it.
I used to have a joke about why the... which I might bring it back. Why the cinnamon in Apple Jacks is Jamaican.
That's funny.
Like, that's too much.
Yeah.
That's like, why does he have to be Jamaican? And I think it was just because the marketing team was like, we need something to rhyme. We need to rhyme cinnamon with Winter Man.
You're like, what?
To the islands. Da-da-da-da-dun-da-dun-da-da. And think about that guy who played the Jamaican guy who played the cinnamon, which I would love if I learned it was like an Apu situation. And
it was just a white guy.
Like Steven Smith.
Who was like, Tom, you're pretty good, right? And he's like, when I'm on. And they're like, yay.
Yeah. Get Tom in there. Yeah. Tom's so funny. Tom's so good at it's like that could have gone to a Jamaican
actor. I wish I could fuck Tom.
I mean, yeah, with his big white piece.
I don't know. Funny. Yeah, you should bring that back.
Maybe it's a silly like why? I think it was like people go too far with diversity. Like there's no reason, and it's almost like the other way. Mm-hmm. It's like, did he have to be Jamaican? Yeah. Is it just so we can say that? Yeah. Is it just so cinnamon rhymes with winter man?
Yeah.
Come on, guys. I don't know. I love it. It's a fun commercial. Yeah, cereal commercials are wild because it's always like the kids withholding cereal from the mascot.
Yeah.
And then it turns out that like it seems like the cereal is like their mental health medicine because they're going crazy. Yeah.
So like if you want the cereal, you got to follow us through this time warp, and then maybe you'll get some of these magical Lucky Charms.
They're like, I'm cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. I'm like, that's fucking Lexapro, dude. He's bipolar. He needs his cereal. Like,
yeah, that's so fun. I'm just crazy for Captain Crunch.
Yeah. Silly rabbit. Tricks are for kids. He's like, my doctor prescribed that.
Tricks. I get this at the pharmacy. You can stole it, put it in a bowl, and pour milk all over it. I'm supposed to take this shit with water.
There's an RX on the box.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
I'm shivering. I'm going through withdrawals.
I need those pink balloons.
But if you see them, they're all unhinged. They're crazy.
Yeah,
like they're having manic episodes because they haven't had their medicine.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the cereal.
What's cereal to us is a cure to another. He's like the victim. He's like, look, I was trying to sleep. These children broke into my house. They spray painted my Ring camera black.
Yeah. And then he just got this like cracked out like spinning dodo bird who's just going through an episode. He's been up for 3 days.
Who now has to race across worlds to get his medicine back.
Yeah, and then what you don't see is after the commercial when he's sitting in the shower crying for a week straight.
Thinking about if tricks really are for kids.
Yeah, it's like,
as they continue to be on their half pipe.
Maybe tricks are for kids. Maybe I don't deserve happiness.
Maybe tricks are for kids.
What are the other mascots that are like go crazy? Tricks, you silly rabbit.
The
fucking the wolf in the Cocoa Krispies.
Kooky Crisp. Yeah, that guy's having an episode right there.
Yeah, it's a fugue state.
Yeah, Jesus Christ, dude. Yeah. Give him a cookie. Yeah.
It just seems really cruel what they're doing. You know, it's like it's an anti-kid cereal bit.
Isn't it Toucan Sam though? What does he do? Are they taking it from Toucan's the Fruit Loops?
What about Captain Crunch? I feel like the
Captain is all knowing.
Captain is all the Captain's God.
He's the god of the mascots.
He's a god figure
because he's the only human.
That might be true actually.
Yeah.
There's the Honey Nut Cheerios bee, but he's like blessing. Regular Cheerios.
Yeah, he is.
Like elevating them. He's French Revolutioning, like social mobility for Cheerios. He's like, I know you were born as the rest, but you can become the nobility.
I hate when somebody says they like regular Cheerios more than Honey Nut. It's like, get a grip.
Yeah, I don't like it more. Like, I'll eat it more often.
Yeah, because
but
it's better for you.
More. Yeah,
no, it's not. I like these. I like sand in my
boring.
mouth.
Yeah, come on. Have
Do
a better
something
opinion.
else.
What do you say, Reese's or Reese's? I want to jump off a bridge when I hear that conversation. Because like, and then they go around like, how do you pronounce the thing you pour on cereal? Milk? Shut up. I've heard this 10 times.
Yeah.
You're 27.
Yeah.
Figure it out.
Also, don't bring it up if somebody says it their own way.
Don't continue that stupid, how do you pronounce things where you're from?
Hey, come here. Acai or acai?
Avocado?
The man from Avocaducco. Man, I had a terrible joke. Let me tell you this horrible joke. I swear to God, I'm telling you, I didn't know how to write a joke until a year after I lived in New York.
That's not true.
Dude. My parents had a brutal divorce, and the other day, I went to the bank with my dad, and the teller asked him for his password to his account in front of me, and he kind of froze and was like, password. It's FUKANNA, then the words, that bitch, 01. And I went, that also explains the name of his boat, the SS Fukana. The worst joke in history, boys.
It's so funny because that's a funny setup that you ruined.
Yeah, it's a funny
that you totally ruined.
How would you do it?
No, I mean, I don't even have an answer. I just have criticism. I just thought of one that's really dumb. So you know the song. I think the lyrics to the song "In the Air Tonight" are about the drop in the song "In the Air Tonight."
Okay.
Just I can feel it coming in the air tonight. Oh Lord, sing it with me. I've been waiting for this moment for all my life. And then the song ends. It's just about the drop. The song itself is about the drop.
So you think the drum solo came first?
It's more of a point.
And he was like,
and then he's like, let's write the prequel.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Nice. It's a good theory.
It's silly.
You get some followers on our subreddit with that.
Yeah, maybe I should post it as a TikTok.
In the r/in the air tonight?
Yeah. Charles is what we call e-tarded. Charles is a full-blown e-tard. He has no idea what computers are or
That's
do.
a Reddit sub.
Our internet?
r/.
Yeah, internet?
In the air tonight.
No way.
That's what I said.
Wow, someone's getting aggressive.
That's what I said, dude.
Was that really what you said?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I was like, that's a funny line.
I thought you said r/internet.
No, I said r/in the air.
I actually thought you said the internet. That's what I thought.
I do stumble when I talk. It's hard.
Yeah.
I see every sentence as a 100-meter dash.
Yeah, there's rocks along your path.
I forget that it's a hurdle. I stumble over.
You're the guy just sprinting through the hurdles. You could ostensibly karate chop your way through the hurdles. I think they're made of metal.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I'm just saying, ostensibly.
Coming from an e-tard, I feel like that's a bad...
I do have e-tard strength. I can cyberbully someone into death. I can make people commit suicide. I don't know if that's a clip. I don't know if we can post e-tard. That might be for the deep podcast listeners, for them to cancel us.
That's definitely for a shirt, though. E-tard strength.
I don't know. We'll talk about it offline.
Yeah.
I also had post-pod. I also had a post-pod and depression. That's when we get really sad because we think we bombed and wasted everyone's time.
The episode's bad. I've had post-pod for 6 weeks.
We have redone episodes.
I've been shaking my computer.
We've redone whole episodes and had postpartum depression.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
we're like, that was...
It's a real thing, and it affects us all.
Dude, I can't slap myself anymore. I don't know what to do with myself when I laugh sometimes. I'm just like... I just want to show you that I thought it was funny. So I'm like, I gotta hurt myself. I hurt myself.
Not only is a laugh gonna do it, but I gotta self-harm.
I gotta be oozing something. You see this? I'm pissing for you. Anyway, so I had that joke, and then I had this other joke about the album. Now that's what I call music. But the name of the album. All right, you gotta.
I'm ready for it.
I know. If you're an audience member, be like, all right, buddy. So what's capitalized is now. It should be that's on the way that you pronounce it. It's now that's what I call music. But that's not what it is. It's now.
That's funny.
That's what I call
music. That's funny.
And I would always scream too loud into the mic.
Yeah.
Which I think I might have just done. So I'll have to lower it in post. But yeah, I think it's funny, but I don't really know what else to do with that.
I had a birthday joke that I saw Chris D'Elia do. One of my first jokes was a very parallel thought about
picking up kids at their 16th birthdays.
yeah. That's why I'm an Annie still. And
that's why I got in the game.
Yeah.
Chris D'Elia is why I got in the game. Call back.
It was
Charles killed himself. For those listening in the audio feed only, Charles just slit his throat.
It was went out to the birthday. The worst part about going out to your birthday is the birthday song, and it's not because it's embarrassing to be sung to. It's because nobody ever sings it fine. It's one of two things. Everybody always sings it like they had just passed away. It's always nobody tries. It's always happy birthday to you, and then there's always that one guy who actually really sings it, who's like happy birthday, and you're like, all right. I said, all right, Uncle Joe, we get it. You were in a quartet in the 90s. You don't need to, whatever the rest of it was. It was always all right, blank.
It is always cool when you get a surprise baritone, because you get the fucking Christina Aguilera wannabes all the time. But when you get a barrel-chested, like, how old are you?
Yeah.
You're like, ooh.
You know my favorite
part
of a birthday song is
That's
not
a firework
knowing
I did not see coming. That was a surprise finale. I've never seen one like that before. And then you're like, who did? No one will even be like,
no,
it was me.
someone bows out.
Yeah.
It's just one guy who travels around the world and many more. He pops
And he turns into flubber.
Yeah.
Bounces his way to the next
birthday.
party,
the next soiree.
Yeah. All right, so we're talking about cereal. How are we going to get some transition if we don't want to do that?
Yeah, I think the music is fine. Well,
I
we
know,
don't even
but
necessarily.
Can you think of a way to get from cereal to Jerome?
Even if we,
don't
well, we
have
could just
to.
say like anyway, back to the French.
Yeah, back to the French.
I mean, people that are
Nobody
they
cares.
don't care.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
Back to the French.
Anyway,
Katerina of Württemberg was aware of Jerome's womanizing and affairs, so Jerome was sleeping around. All right, he still loved Betsy. So she remained faithful and true to Jerome.
oh really?
They had two sons, Prince Jerome Napoleon Charles Bonaparte, and Prince Napoleon Bonaparte, also known as Prince Napoleon or Plan Plan.
Plan Plan.
Plan Plan.
Terrible nickname.
Exactly how it sounds.
Hey, call me Plan Plan. I'd be like, I'm gonna move out of the country before I call you Plan Plan. I'm gonna sell my pregnant wife back to Napoleon before I call you Plan Plan.
Plan Plan.
Hey, Plan Plan.
That's a name that like Dane Cook makes up for a child.
Yeah.
Hey, Plan Plan.
Yeah.
Yeah, Plan Plan. I mean, I might use that. Plan Plan.
Plan
Come on,
Plan.
Plan Plan.
Yeah, geez.
Plan Plan. I don't know.
Plan Plan. Yeah. So they have kids. He's
They-
cheating around. He's getting under other girls' dresses.
Right. I actually don't have that much left about Jerome.
Yeah.
So we can move on. Do you have any thoughts about Jerome?
Yeah, I think he was a fine guy. He seemed fine. He
seemed
seemed
alright
like
to
he
me.
did his job when his brother needed him to.
Seemed like
except
he was young, dumb, and full of cum for a
Yeah.
long, long time.
Yeah,
But
that's
other than
it.
that, he followed orders.
Yeah, he was obedient.
And what else can you ask?
Yeah, I mean, he probably lived a good life.
Yeah, that's Jerome. That's
The life of Jerome.
Bonaparte.
Yeah.
Bonaparte. Joseph also started, he wanted to be like a munitions officer or something. Like he wanted to be in the military as well. He was maybe going to be a priest.
Wow.
And he's like, I don't want to be a priest.
Yeah.
But he went the more diplomatic route. So he's like the consulate to Parma and Rome. So he's like the Italian, he fucks, he deals with the Italians basically, which is not to be taken lightly.
Yeah.
That's certainly, they're tough
annoying.
people.
Yeah, they're very annoying.
Yeah. So he's dealing with
He's
Italians.
telling all his brothers, look, you don't know how annoying they are.
Yeah, I'm the king of a bunch of idiots.
Yeah.
Over here. They keep throwing tomatoes
I
at
don't know,
me.
they fucking use their hands all the time. It's stupid. They got nothing in them.
Yeah, there's so much wind in this city because they're blowing it up with their hands all the time.
You should see one of their towers isn't even upright.
Oh, nice. Little Pisa dig. Hell yeah. Take that piece of shit down. Maybe level it. Right? Dig up. Dude, what if you leveled the Leaning Tower?
Nice.
Everyone gets furious. Are you even allowed on it?
No, it's like roped off.
Is it like a birthright for you to visit the Leaning Tower?
I actually get to go and I get to take a piece off of it.
Oh,
take
it
home.
leans a little more?
Yeah.
Every Italian gets to make
Every
it lean.
Italian gets to push it a little bit more to the right, you see?
So in 1808, Joseph. So again, think of Napoleon's brothers as extensions of Napoleon's power.
Yeah.
That's how he thinks of them. That's how their lives were shaped.
Mm-hmm.
Like Napoleon is the wind and the rain, and they are just the earth.
Okay.
Napoleon is eroding.
He's carving out the Grand
carving
Canyon.
a path. Exactly.
Yeah.
He's carving out the Grand Canyon that is their life.
Wow.
So,
very poetic.
Thank you. He, in 1808, Napoleon insists that Joe becomes the king of Spain, which leads to a peninsular war, which is what it's called. Like the Spanish are like, no.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Did you ask us first?
What the fuck?
He's like, we wouldn't be mad if you asked. I mean, we still would have said no, but
Yeah.
like, please ask.
Come on.
Hey, Nappy.
Por favor. Por favor.
Vosotros are pissed about it.
You know that means like y'all in Spanish?
Yeah.
It's pretty sweet. What are vosotros doing? Que vosotros hacer?
Vosotros going down to the
Vosotros
boat.
need to get the hell out of here before yo gets a little loco. I'm trying to get some private time with this donkey. You know what a donkey show is, right? They just watch a woman jerk off a donkey.
Oh,
It's awful.
I thought
I've
the
never
girl
been,
got.
but-
Sure. I thought the girl got F.
I run
by
a
it.
few.
Yeah, you run a few.
You wanna get
Oh,
booked?
can I get booked?
Absolutely. Yeah.
I'd love
you can
to
do
watch.
10 before or after.
Yeah, that'd be great.
right.
I'd like after. I feel like they're loosened up after the donkey comes.
They actually are crazed. After the donkey semen is released,
They're cuckoo for
there's
donkey
a
semen.
smell. There's a pheromone
Oh,
that gets released
yeah.
into the crowd, into the tent,
God,
which is where
that's-
it's hosted. It's in a tent. It's airtight. It's sealed. So it's all they're kind of hotboxing the donkey cum.
Yeah, kind of like sniffing cat piss.
Exactly like
I know
that.
what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I'm speaking your Arizona
Yeah.
language. Yeah, that's right. That's what the Phoenicians
That's how
do.
Vosotros gets down. All right.
So,
man, who thought of that idea? And it's still going on today. The donkey show? No, the donkey show.
Y'all? What a weird thing to call a group of people.
Donkey show, fine.
Yeah.
But y'all?
I mean, everybody's got to work. So, Joseph, after Napoleon's defeat at Waterloo, Joseph moves to the U.S. after Waterloo, which is, I think, 1815. Okay, and then he's living in New Jersey, of all places.
And I know it's always strange. It's like, oh, you picked Jersey, huh?
Interesting, but it wasn't,
It is beautiful, too. New Jersey is very pretty.
And I've heard that Joseph was very tan and had slicked back hair, and he would fit right in with the New Jersey locals.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
A lot of tattoos.
Yeah.
He liked big butts.
Loved pizza.
Yeah, Jim Tan Laundry.
Jim
Tan Laundry.
Yeah, he had what was it called? I think it was just called like the Bonaparte estate or whatever it was called.
It was actually called the title, I think, of a young adult novel, Point Breeze.
Point Breeze.
Yeah,
Jeez.
it's a crime romance novel where the kids fuck on the beach and then find a body that they have to figure out who did it. Yeah, he lived in
the breeze led them to the body.
That's right. What does that smell?
The breeze pointed us over there.
Oh my God. I thought it was
everywhere the breeze goes, we find a different body.
Doesn't it's like Point Breeze sounds like a book I would love as a 14-year-old.
Oh yeah. Did you read Point Breeze?
Yeah, every day.
Every day. Every day I read Point Breeze.
What's up, man? Are we okay in here? Yeah, you're good. All right, thanks. So that sounded like I didn't even listen to him. Are we good? Fuck you. So he moved to the U.S. He's in New Jersey. He apparently was out on a hunting trip and saw the Jersey Devil.
Oh, yes, a big beast.
Can you look up a picture of the big beast that lives in Jersey? I think it was Snooki. Clip it. Clip it and send it back, baby.
Send it to her. Tag her. Clip it.
Send it to 2011, the 10-year anniversary of 9/11, and also Jersey Shore's peak.
And immediately autofilled it as coaster. The Devil Coaster, I guess, is a big...
The Devil Coaster. Big ride, big attraction.
There we go. It's like a pterodactyl standing on its feet.
It's like a pudgy... Oh, yeah, wow, it is.
I like whoever drew that image was like, let me not pull from... Let's just go back from the pterodactyl and draw it standing up.
Yeah, but it has a
it's more
camel-y rodent head. And it has hooves. Did you see that? It has a forked tail, and it has hooves and like dragon wings, and it's like a horse's body. You got to look a little closer, buddy. This is not...
I didn't zoom in.
No, you got to zoom. Look at that thing. That has its wings, its chicken's legs, horse's feet, dragon's wings. What is that, a camel? No, it's like a horse's body and head.
Definitely looks a little slow.
Yeah, well, it's actually extremely fast.
It can fly and run.
It will, yeah. It does not like the water.
That's actually what creates the Point Breeze. Its wings.
Common descriptions of that of a bipedal kangaroo-like or wyvern creature with a horse or goat-like head. So yeah, he thought he spotted this on a hunting trip. It has been reported to move quickly and is often described as emitting a high-pitched, blood-curdling scream.
Wow.
Jeez.
Jeez
Louise. Yeah, I wish I looked more up about the Jersey Devil. Maybe we could come back to it if the fans are clamoring for the boys to talk about the J-Dev.
We should talk about things like that, like beasts throughout history.
We should talk about
That's a good
beasts.
episode.
Yeah, we could talk. Yeah, overshadowed beasts. Well, there's a lot of local legends like the Jersey Devil. There's Mothman. There's like all kinds of like Loch Ness, but for like the U.S. There's like Sasquatch and other weird like variations of like Justin, Montana.
Yeah.
There's like the Chupacabra.
Yeah.
You know.
That might be my favorite one, too. The Chupacabra.
It's the funnest one to say.
Yeah.
For sure. Also, when Joseph moved to Point Breeze, he was like a pretty chill, like rich dude who just wanted to hang out. He wanted to garden. He liked literature.
Yeah.
He was like nice to the American people and like brought the town that he lived in New Jersey culture. I'd kind of like to go there.
Yeah.
It sucks because the mansion was not preserved. Ooh, man. What a roller coaster for you.
That was tough. So close. We're only a couple of stops of a train away.
I'm sorry, yeah.
Man, we could have scooted there.
We could have scooted there tonight. See the Jersey Devil. Just see a little...
We shouldn't have came.
It picks you up. Charles! All right, now Joe's the co-host.
Tell Heather
It's just raping you as it's flying away. Fuck, man.
Fuck, it rapes.
Damn it. I thought it was just going to eat me slowly. That's a bummer. It's going to do both.
I'm getting raped and eaten.
That's tough.
Yeah, that's a brutal way.
Yeah, great stuff.
That might be way to die number one.
Worst number one way to die.
It was slowly raped and eaten.
So apparently in like 1820, some Mexican revolutionaries proposed to Joseph. They're like, do you want to be the king of Mexico? I probably can't.
I don't know if that's the accent.
Dude,
you want to be the king of Mexico?
Come on, man.
Yeah,
you want to be the king of Mexico?
Do you want to take our jobs?
I gotta not include that.
I can't do it.
It's probably because I'm sitting where Shane Gillis also records. I'm getting all those juices.
Yeah.
A lot of butt sweat getting absorbed into me. But they asked him, and he's like, dude, I've had people be like, hola, you want to rule me? And it has not worked out. So in Spain, he got overthrown. He started a war. He's like, I'm not ruling any Spanish-speaking countries.
I kind of swore that off.
Yeah, it's not a good look for me. It's like, I'm not dating goth chicks anymore. Yeah. If I smell churros, I know danger's coming.
Yeah, I stay away from the cinnamon, man.
Oh, yeah, they are coated in cinnamon. That was a good pull.
Yeah, all right.
Wow, local churro knowledge. Well, you live in Astoria, so you know all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Know lots of stuff since moving there. That's what happens when you move to Astoria. You learn lots of stuff.
You brush up on your stuff.
Hey, great stuff.
I learned it all in Astoria. Hey, a lot of great comics live in Astoria. You too, but a lot of great comics. Shoot each other.
Yeah, so he says no, and then he just kind of resides, and doesn't he just stay in the mansion?
He hangs
all the time?
out. Oh,
yeah,
dude, I do have. Okay, turn the page, baby. No, this is why. Because
turn around,
bright eyes. Every now and then I fall apart. Joseph, he's a demure, I think, diplomat, refined and nice. He's refined and nice. The people like him. No, there was a fire at Point Breeze at his mansion, which would be probably in chapter 11 of that book.
Yeah, oh yeah.
The fire, the big fire. Did you get past the fire?
What chapter are you on? 10? Ooh, just wait.
Big blaze.
You're
coming.
Close.
Yeah.
You know when you get to
that breeze smart. About to make things worse.
You know that breeze you love and trust? Well, that thing may be just as evil as the Jersey Devil.
It's sweeping through the dunes. Point Breeze is about to be
picking up some hot stuff, some heated winds.
The beach is all glass. Remember when you learned that glass was made out of sand? And you're like, why isn't there a bunch of glass everywhere? Did you think that? I thought that. I mean, I think if you look at sand closely, it is somewhat glass. Your thoughts?
Hey, glass. I'm half sand. Yes, I am.
Wow, on your mother's side. I always hate that. They're like, I'm bi on my father's side. I know a lot of comics that I like have that joke, but I don't like it. Yeah. So stop doing it if you have it, please. And then you can tell me which one of mine you don't want me to.
Yeah, let's trade.
Let's just all be better. So Joseph was living at Point Breeze. Oh, it caught on fire. He was like really chill and tight with the townspeople. So like his servants, and it was kind of like Downton Abbey. Okay. Like they kind of loved the Lord a little bit. They were Lord lovers. You know, they're like he kept up the house, but he like treated them well and like was nice to people and socialized. So when his house was on fire, like people ran in to save his shit.
Whoa.
Which is pretty cool. You know? You're like a rich dude. Yeah. Usually you're like
I gotta get the vase. He talks about it all the time, Wendy.
Yeah.
I gotta run into the fire. Look,
sweet is
I
that?
love you. I'll be back. I'll be fine. He just leaves town with his mistress. This is my chance.
It's a funny story how we met. So this guy, there was this rich guy in town, right? And his mansion was on fire. And like he was kind of cool with the people. So I'm like, I'm going to go save his fiery mansion. And then I ran off with Linda.
And it was great.
We're living a great life.
I met Linda in the fire. And
yeah, she was in there too. She's like, I hate my husband. I'm like, that's so convenient. I hate my wife. Let's take this vase, get out of here.
Fake our deaths in the fire.
Fake our deaths in the fire.
Go live in Connecticut where I hear it's nice. I hear it's nice again. I hear it's boring, but it's nice.
Boring, but nice.
And
which is all I want out of life.
I just want to wake up and like have my Cheerios honey nutted. Maybe I hope the honey nut Cheerio be when he wanted the thing. He'd be, you've been nutted, like when you're being
like
knighted.
Yeah. You may kneel.
Did you hear about Loop 3? He got nutted.
It'd be funny if they had some Honey Nut Cheerios like never before aired or like cut commercials, and you just see the bee like, and then a bunch of kids like come up to the bowl and like, this tastes amazing, and you see the bee like,
yeah, it does. You want some more of my honey, kids?
So
the wand is just his dick the whole time.
Right, yeah. If you zoom in. Oh, it was his dick. He just has a wand-shaped dick. So he had this secretary named Mallard. It's kind of like Mallard with more eyes. And he sent him to retrieve, so he had buried treasure.
Whoa.
He sent his secretary on a treasure hunt in like 1830 or some shit. It doesn't really matter. But it was in like the Swiss Alps or something.
Whoa.
He had a foxhole in Switzerland that he had buried a box that had diamonds, money, and papers in it. I don't know what kind of papers, but construction. I don't know. He's trying to do arts and crafts.
Cardboard paper.
Yeah, he's like, I have a presentation coming up.
It's my favorite paper, dude.
Yeah.
There's only like 6 pieces of cardboard. This when cardboard was new. This like
This is OG cardboard,
dude.
This is cut from the
Here,
first.
smell that. Oh, it's dank.
Ooh, wow, you really know that's cardboard.
Yeah, that's a good board.
That new board smell.
What is that? What is that? CB Kush?
What is that? 3M? That's just a company. So he sent his secretary to Switzerland, and this is wild. He dressed up. So he went. I don't even know if he did. He was just like a goofy guy. I like to think he was just a goofy guy because he dressed up in a red wig and put on an English accent and pretended to be like, "Hello, I'm an Englishman here to retrieve. I'm here prospecting for coal."
Because they wouldn't let him in the Alps.
I don't even know if that's true. I just know that he decided to.
Oh,
do
he
this.
was like, "Let me get into character."
Because his financial advisor, Joseph Bonaparte's financial advisor, was named like Verlet or something.
Okay,
and he was there in the Swiss. I don't know if it was the Alps. He was in Switzerland.
Okay,
and so this guy, this Maillard guy, dressed up as a ginger raw Englishman, isn't it? And he went over and he's like, "Hello, I'm here to fucking dig up some coal." And he's like, "All right, okay." He's not British.
There's an Australian guy there.
All right, okay. That's great on the eye contact. So he's telling him to like, yeah, I'm here to dig up some shit. And then he like takes the wig off, and the guy Verret is like, "That is hilarious. What a funny gag you have pulled on me." And then they're like buddies, and then they team up. He like tells him like, "Yeah, I'm working for Joseph as well." They're like buddies now, and so they conspire to hire some local like workmen to dig for coal like around where the box is.
Loosen the treasure up,
right? But they dig. They start far away. They start far away enough.
That's mean.
No, they're not trying to make them like it's not like holes. It's like you better. They didn't take prisoners trying to have them learn their lesson. No, they were just trying to not to let on like that they were digging not for coal. You know what I mean?
Okay,
so like dig 100 yards or like 50 yards away.
They contracted this guy out.
They
found him on
these
Fiverr.
guys who knew nothing. Yeah. Fiverr. I wish I knew five in French. Cinco. Is Fiverr called Cinco in Mexico? Is that a bit? Is that a bit to say? So
that's somebody at an open mic reading their notes going, okay.
Yeah, it's like tweet that. Well, that did better on Twitter.
Yeah. A better tweet.
That was more of a tweet. I mean, we've all said it.
Yeah.
You got to say it.
Yeah.
So they're digging, and then they get to the spot where, like, basically above where the treasure box is, and they're like, all right, you guys can go home. And so they send him home. They come back at night. I think they're just trying to have a good time.
Yeah.
They come back at night with shovels,
Ooh.
and they dig it out, and then they see the box, and it's
still wearing the wig.
Still wearing the wig, yeah. That's the only thing you can see in the darkness is the wig. He leads the way. Rudolph the red-haired Englishman. And they dig up the thing, and it's like so much money. It's like,
oh, really?
It's like 600,000 francs or something worth in diamonds.
Jeez.
It's like an insane amount of money.
Just a bunch of diamonds in a chest.
Bunch of diamonds, paper, and cardboard.
Yeah.
Yeah. And a fucking origami
What else
swan.
do you need? Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of confetti.
Yeah.
Just all different types of paper.
Yeah.
He's got lined in here. He's got 3-hole punch lined. This is when paper was huge. Mm-hmm. So did they bring the money back to them? Or did they take the money and run?
No, he was like they were like buds. They respected each other. He left him a farm. Joseph, when he died, he left Maillard a 200-acre farm and like 400 bucks a year for life.
Wow.
A golden watch.
Wow.
And then he gave someone else like his silver toiletries. I don't know. Maybe like not the favorite, but
toiletries?
I don't know what toiletries are silver.
Yeah, what it was.
First I read it as a silver toilet. I'm like, well, that's pretty sick.
I got the silver toilet, guys.
Sell that toilet. They're like, all right. Cool.
I'm going to melt this toilet down. Get out of town.
You keep talking about melting that toilet down. You're never going to do it.
You're never going to melt the toilet. All you do is shit in that toilet, Bob.
You're going to be nothing. You amount to what you put into your toilet, which is shit. You're shit. Bob.
Yep.
So yeah, that's Jerome and Joseph. I
Okay.
mean, I don't know. Do you have anything else in the?
No, I had other things that like one of the sons of the Bonaparte family created the FBI. That was cool, but like that's kind of too far deep into that.
It's very deep, but it is interesting. The ties run deep.
Yeah, but they had so many of the same names. That watching that video, I was like, bah!
I know.
But
well, that guy is twists and turns, and he was great though.
He was good. He
really
told
is.
a good story.
It's I think it's like History Worth Remembering or something. I will link it in the comments because it was a great video that helped us a lot with info. Who would you rather be, Jerome or Joseph? Napoleon's not an option.
It's tough.
They both live pretty long lives.
Yeah.
I would rather be Joseph, I think.
I think I might go Jerome just because the life seemed wild.
It's pretty exciting. But think about, like, he had to forsake his wife. I mean, you're going to move on. But, like, that sucks if you're in love with someone and you have to leave them.
Yeah.
Because your brother's like, that will not help my empire.
Yeah,
sucks.
But Joseph was just kind of in charge. Yeah, he just led a good life. You're right. Joseph's
relaxed. Yeah, he's living. He's rich.
You're right. Maybe I got to go Joe.
But here's the thing. Joseph, he's a little tubbier. He's not as exciting. He's not.
He was ugly.
And he had a lot of paperwork. He's a diplomat. He's just like filing a lot of papers and shit. He's like, he's bringing Republican ideals to Naples, like Italy. He's like spreading Napoleon's shit down there.
Nah, just dropping off newsletters.
Yeah, he's flyering. He's going door to door. Have you hailed the news?
Yeah. Slams the door on him.
I'm so hungry.
Oh man,
you hungry?
I had so much food yesterday.
Yesterday
was less food on purpose because that food was hurting me.
Yeah.
Where do you want to go?
Ulcer boy. Yeah. I mean, I'll go in ulcer boy. I was an ulcer boy growing up.
Only touched once, but I'll tell you, I was the top.
It's kind of a funny album name.
Ulcer
you shouldn't
Boy?
do it, but
no. I was thinking
it's pretty silly.
You know, every time you think of a new joke, you're like, maybe my album will be called Sky Pants.
That's silly. All right, thanks for listening, guys. We appreciate it. Go follow us on Instagram, Overshadowed Pod. Joe's watching us do the plugs, and now we're self-conscious. We don't have a Twitter. Overshadowed Podcast on YouTube. Oh, you want to say your personal handles?
Yeah, Instagram, TikTok, is Charles_Engle. It's Engle. YouTube, Charles Engle Comedian, and
I'm just Zach Russell Comedy, ZACHRUSSELL Comedy. I think everywhere. YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, I'm Russell_Mania. So thanks for listening, guys.
Tell your friends about us, by the way. Leave a review. We're on
leave a review. We're on Apple Podcast after a fucking heated battle about JPEG size. Those fuckers. Tim Cook, I'm going to eat your ass in a painful way. Follow us. Tell your friends. Follow the Instagram. Reshare. And that's it. Peace.